What's up, everyone? It's Snapper77. Today we're going to be having a look at Mephisto. I recently got him from the Blade opening, but he's not ranked up or duped or awakened or anything like that. So we're going to be looking at my 4-star 550 one. You can read through some of his abilities there. Big thing with him is he's got these persistent soul charges that he gains for every time. Every time he knocks somebody out, he gets a persistent soul charge up. He can get them up to 6. And there's a bunch of different ways you can use those souls for different types of situations. We'll be looking at a bunch of different clips and going over some things on how to use them in certain situations. First clip here is up against Winter Soldier. The plan here was to get to his L3 and make sure that Winter Soldier had at least 2 bars of power. Because with Mephisto's L3, it drains 2 bars of power, and if you drain at least 2 bars of power, the full thing, he gets permanent Aurora for the whole fight, and with Aurora comes power gain. So the plan here was to get that power gain going and to kind of showcase him here how you can fight without really taking much risks. You can just use the power gain and spam your L1 without having to worry about, going in for parries and intercepts and that. You can just stand there and hold block, evade his charges, and then once your L1's charged, you can just I call it a fade away is what I call it. You just evade, and then just as soon as you evade back, right there, you just hit your special button, and it's a really safe way of fighting. You're not really going to get hit doing this. So yeah, that's that was the plan with this clip here, and it's pretty good fighting technique, I gotta say. Its incinerate damage is pretty decent. It's not overpowering or anything like that. My biggest thing with Mephisto is his damage output isn't really all that great. But his L1, it does get some decent damage off with the incinerate. You can see Winter Soldier's health's gradually going down there. So yeah, it's I gotta say I'm pretty pleased with him overall. He's got a bunch of different uses. We'll see coming up in some other clips, some different situations that you can use them and how to use them differently. So yeah, we'll just this goes on for I think I cut it off at around 130 or 135 hits or something like that. Pretty well could see the general idea of the technique here, and there wasn't really any need to go on. Yeah, once again though, his damage output isn't. If his damage output was higher, he would definitely be a god tier champ. He's like with his he starts the fight and the opponent can't gain any buffs for like 15 or 20 seconds. So it's pretty cool. You're facing somebody who's got buffs that are going to be active right off the start of the fight. It's not going to happen. He's also poison immune, which is great for things like AQ and quests where you need a poison immune, and he's got some really nice regen. You'll see later on clip there where we're going to show you how to use his regen. And the only thing I don't like about his regen is you need those persistent soul charges, and it's kind of nice to use his L1 because it bypasses abilities with buffs. So you gotta plan how you're gonna use them. You can't use the L1 if you want to use them for regen. This is kind of a cool match. He's a really good counter for Medusa because watch, like after his thing wears off, she will not gain any furies for the rest of the fight, so you don't have to worry about any auto block whatsoever, which is kind of cool. Because that's the most annoying thing about Medusa is she gets those furies and then she auto blocks, and the auto block becomes a parry, and then it's like game over. So Mephisto is one of those champs that you can safely fight Medusa without her being any difficulty at all. My buddy Iron Deceiver's Medusa, he got her in the Blade opening. Lucky guy, he got Blade and he got Medusa. So I think he was more than happy with his Blade Day opening. I missed, I got blocked there. I thought I was going to get comboed and was going to be over, but I ended up, somehow she didn't attack after my blocked L2. I used the 3-star in these duel situations just because to make the matches a little bit longer. With the 550, it goes too fast. Here I was showing how you can use his L1 against someone like Hyperion, and you can shut he's got no power gain right now. Once that timer wears off, he'll get power gain. But you see I got three soul charges there. So he's got the power gain active. Now it won't be active no more. You see my soul charges are down to 2, so I got 2 more uses of my L1 where it's gonna shut his power gain down. So it's against champions like Hyperion. You can use that L1 as a method of power control. Plus, you can also use his L3 as power control too, because it drains 2 bars of power. So if you could potentially bank your L3 for an emergency after you run out of your soul charges, and so if you got 3 bars of power, you could just drop your L3 and it would drain 2 bars of his power. So he's got a little bit of power control, and he's got some immunities and some regen, and he's also a really good defender. I mean, Blade does pretty well against him, but against a lot of other champs, they can have a real hard time against him. I don't know, I went early there on got clipped with this special. And you can see there I'm out of soul charges there now, so he will get the power gain buffs. But we've slowed it down quite a bit to give ourselves lots of chance to win this fight. So that worked out really nice. So he's a pretty effective counter versus Hyperion and Medusa. There's two kind of annoying champs that you face frequently. And then this was against another guy in our alliance, Mad L. He's got that rank 5 X23. Just showcasing here how you can use his L1 to prevent your regen. So that's another, you can shut down power a little bit and also regen too at the same time. So, now when I go to use my L1 again, that X23 won't regen. I was going for my power here to get the permanent power gain, I think. Yeah, no, I was gonna spam my L1 to shut down her regen. Now she'll regen again here now until I use my L1 again. just using my power gain and playing it safe here. Now I'm out of the soul charges now, so whenever that timer expires, you won't be able to shut down any of the opponent's buffs that they would gain. But just like in the previous the Hyperion match, you know, by the time your souls wore off, the fight was so close to the end that you're pretty good shape. This next clip is against. I was good showcasing his regen here. So he's got 6 souls, and what you do in a situation is if you're doing, like, say you're doing the poison lane in AQ, where it's got heal block, and you get to the end of the lane, you got your 6 soul charges. You could the first match after the poison lane's done, you could use your regen. What you do is you build up to your L3 and you bank your L3, and then once you get him close to low health where your L3 could kill him, you just say, okay, stop, and just do this. Just let him combo you into an oblivion. Once your health gets down to 30%, you're gonna regen, and during your regen he can't hurt you, he can't damage you. So once your regen's done, all you gotta do is just drop your L3, and the match is over, and now you're full health, and you've recovered all that chip damage that you would have taken in the poison lane with the heal block. So you're ready for tier 3 with full health. So it's pretty darn good, and even for questing you can use them that way too. And this one here, it was showing his he's also got immunity to cold snap and frostbite, and so I was dueling against this another guy in our alliance, Terrant. He's got a nice buffed Iceman. I think this might be the last clip. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, you can see he's definitely got lots of different kind of uses. You notice at the start of the fight, the ice armor wasn't there because he shuts down their abilities for the first 20 seconds. I'm not 100% sure on that. It might be 25 seconds or 15. I know it's 15 seconds with his L1, but to start the fight, I think it's a little higher. Well, overall, I would say Mephisto, he's a demigod tier for sure. Just lacking a little bit of damage. You can see those L1s there barely took any damage at all. I think that's because he has some energy. He has high energy resistance against energy attacks, and I think that's probably part of that. But his L1s, he's not taking much damage there. Yeah, but overall, he's a good champ. If his damage output was a little higher, he'd probably be a no-brainer to be a god tier champ. But overall, I'm pretty excited to have Mephisto in 5-star, and possibly looking at taking him 455 if I can get him awakened. I'm not going to use my generic on him yet. I've already decided on that. I want to save my generic. There again, I'm using his power gain to just safely fight him without having to do much risky intercepts or parries and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my video on Mephisto, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and have a good one.